Hi, I'm Jonah Comstock, editor-in-chief of pharmaphorum. I'm here at JPM2026 in San Francisco. We're actually at the Marriott Hotel, joined by...
Yann Gaston-Mathe, founder and CEO of Iktos.
So you guys have big news. You just announced a big partnership with Servier, right?
Absolutely. We announced last week a multi-target strategic partnership in drug discovery with Servier for a total deal value that exceeds potentially 1 billion euros.
So tell me a little bit about Iktos, what you do, and what you're bringing to this partnership.
Absolutely. We are essentially an AIDD company, AI for drug discovery company that focuses on small molecule drug discovery by combining AI for exploration of the chemical space, design of small molecules, and automated lab automation robotics to automate the synthesis of those compounds generated by AI, and therefore enable to speed up the design, make test analysis cycle, and essentially the convergence and optimization of compounds towards potential preclinical candidates. So what we bring is a combination of a very unique platform with very strong, industry validations with multiple collaborations, and also some very strong capabilities in modeling, in medicinal chemistry, drug design, and then we bring our passion and energy to the service of our partners to deliver as fast as possible the molecules, the compounds that they need. And that we meet the requirements for a successful drug candidate.
I know there's a lot of companies, increasingly more and more companies in this AI drug discovery space. So how do you stand out? What is your kind of differentiator?
Yeah, of course. So I think there are many companies who are on the AI side and focus more on kind of predicting, the binding of a molecule to a target. There are many developments in so-called 3D generative AI at the present time with AlphaFold 3, Boltz-2, and others. And we are also doing our share of work in this specific field, which is super important. But at the same time, all other AI companies, they tend to forget that, whatever the compounds, however good the compounds that are generated by AI, you still need to make them in the lab and test them. And based on the experimental data, you need to think of new compounds that will improve compared to the previous ones. It's all about iterative learning through multiple design, make, test, analysis cycle. And you need also to be, if you want to be successful, if you want to impact the process, you also need to think about how effective you are in terms of the transition between the in silico world and the in vitro world. And that's where, lab automation comes in. But, right now, if you look at how compounds are being discovered in pharma, in drug discovery, you still have bench chemists making the compounds on the bench. It's super labor intensive, the productivity is very low, and essentially it's being done the same way as it was being done 100 years ago. Very little progress in actually, execution of chemical reactions. Of course, there are robots for chemistry, but until now, until Iktos, essentially, the use of those robots was limited to essentially making libraries of compounds super similar to one another, which are not really what you need in a medchem project where every compound is unique and must answer a specific question. So actually, what we found a way to do is essentially to build a platform where AI generate molecules which can be made on a robot, but at the same time have high probability of being good compounds, and then to actually automate the translation between the virtual compounds and the actual novel chemical matter in the lab through a fully, digitalized process and automated process to make the compounds of the robots.
Oh,
That's very unique. Yeah.
Is that where you think that AI drug discovery is sort of going? And that it's more like physical AI, more wet lab?
Well, I do believe that building on the data which is available is not enough, because again, it's an illusion to think that using the available data you could actually design, synthesize, and test some ideal compounds who could make it to the clinical trials at the, in the first cycle. You need to consider the fact that this will take several cycles, iterations. You will need to generate additional data, which will help improve your models. It's active learning, essentially. So if you do not consider the change of the execution of the synthesis and testing, uh, you will not be able to have a strong impact. So I think that yes, all AI companies and actually all pharma companies, are now considering to invest beyond AI in automation in order to be able to generate the data that they need. And actually, we're having tons of interesting discussions with some very big U.S. pharma company or European pharma company, which are investing heavily in automation and are very interested in the technology that we've developed.
And what's the end goal of the partnership with Servier? What are you working on?
So we're working on targets in oncology, which are proprietary targets, and essentially, Servier have a very intensive activity in terms of target discovery and validation, but they don't have the resources to go, after all of those targets, with their internal resources. So identifying strategic partner to which they can externalize the drug discovery for those novel targets, and with the hope that we can go fast in terms of delivering drug candidates and preserve that competitive advantage in terms of speed to the market is super important. So that's clearly the hope is there. Is they're asking us to work on very challenging novel targets where there's limited information, and asking us to demonstrate that we can deliver with our unique platform, in due time, the candidates which can be taken for the clinical trials.
All right. Well, thank you so much for talking to me, Yann. Really exciting news. I hope you're having a good show.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jonah.
That concludes another episode of the pharmaphorum podcast. You can find more information about this episode, including a download link and information about previous installments, at pharmaphorum.com/podcast. The pharmaphorum podcast is also available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Overcast, Pocket Casts, Podbean, and pretty much wherever else you download your podcasts. Just search for pharmaphorum and follow and hit subscribe. Of course, don't forget to visit the website itself, where you can sign up for daily and weekly news and analysis bulletins, and follow us on Blue Sky and LinkedIn at pharmaphorum. That's PharmaPhorum. That's all for now. Thanks for listening.